So I read an article, a study that showed that white men who exercise frequently die early. Where the hell is my white privilege? Boom! Boom! What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, CEO! MTS Nutrition. So I got this link sent to me. It was in the New York Post. It was quoting a new study. A new study showing that people, mainly white men, who exercise frequently were more likely to die from heart problems? What? So I'm saying, I'm like, of all things to not have white privilege on, who'd have thought exercise would be one of them? But it appears so. Anyway, I'm gonna go over what to get of this study, if there's any take home. And let's go over it. First of all, published on October 17th in the New York Post. You know, what Trump calls the fake news. Speaking of white privilege. See where I'm going here with these jokes? You guys following along? The jokes are on point. You guys might not know it yet, but these jokes are on point. Too much exercise can kill you, scientists have revealed. By the way, I'm not out of breath. It was just, that intro took a lot out of me. It did. It took a lot out of me. Where'd my delicious Ambrosia Pachamama coffee go? You guys done with the ads yet? Maybe I should just stick a product, like, what about some product placement? What if we put something like right here and then did the video? Would that, no? Anyway. White men, that's right, white men just like Donald J. Trump, who work out at least 7.5 hours a week. Although Trump has been shown on record saying he doesn't exercise, he believes it takes away from your business acumen, your ability to do business, your energy. Trump doesn't even lift. No wonder y'all don't like him, right? Who work out at least 7.5 hours a week are nearly twice as likely to suffer from heart disease as those who do a moderate amount, a study shows. Researchers in Chicago, leave it to Chicago, right? My home state, man, hometown. Born in Chicago. Compared 25-year exercise patterns and made the surprising discovery that very active white men are 86% more likely to experience a buildup of plaque in the heart arteries by middle age. I'm screwed, man. I might as well just start, doing drugs. And what was that drug, Katie, on Wolf of Wall Street? Quaaludes. I need some Quaaludes. Some of the Quays. Okay, they're 86% likely. Okay, but this didn't apply to black men. I'm gonna go over why, I'm being funny right now, but we'll get serious in a second. It suggests that high levels of exercise over time cause stress on the arteries, leading to higher coronary artery calcification known as CAC. However, scientists warn that people should not stop exercising. Yeah, that data finding that exercise kills you, definitely not gonna make me stop exercising. I'm like, why the did I do cardio today? Like, seriously, 7.5 hours a week? I used to train 7.5 hours a day. Like, dude, that's straight up broness. Like, and also they never define what moderate is. The team from University of Illinois, Chicago and Kaiser Permanente looked at physical activity trajectories of 3,175 black and white participants in the long-term cardio study and assessed the presence of CAC. The presence amount of CAC is a significant warning sign to doctors that a patient may be at risk for developing heart disease and a signal to consider early preventative care, which I guess the early preventative care would either be drugging them up and making them zombies and making them die of other causes that prescription drugs kill you, or exercise. Or do you prescribe less exercise? I'm not sure what the prescription would be for this, but I'm guessing that Obamacare might cover it. However, they found that top level of exercise, there was no extra risk for black men, but an 86. Why are you laughing? Why don't you come here and give me some sex, woman? I'm always thinking about sex, man. I think I'm an addict. I know I'm an addict. Let's talk about how I'm gonna die for being white and exercising. But an 86% increase for white men. Unique, is sex considered exercise? Not when I'm on the bottom. This just means you gotta go on top. Unique to the study is the evaluation of long-term exercise patterns from young adulthood into middle age. The study group had 8 follow-up examinations over 25 years from 1985 to 2011. 8 over, that's a long-ass time. Starting at 18 to 30 and finishing at 43 to 55. There were 3 distinct groups based on physical activity patterns. Okay, those in group, okay, so hold on. Group 1 was exercising below the national guideline of less than 150 minutes a week. Group 2, 150 a week. And Group 3 was 3 times above the national guidelines of over 450 per week. These are hardcore trainers. Of those in the Group 3 were 27% more likely than those in Group 1 to develop CAC. These findings were divided by race and gender. They found that white men were at the highest risk as they were 86% more likely to have CAC. There was no higher odds of CAC for black participants to exercise at this level, and while there was a similar trend for white women, it was not statistically significant. This is why white women outlive white men. Y'all outlive us by like 10 years, don't you? I don't know. You know why men die first? Because we want to. Because the study results show a significantly different level of risk between black and whites based on long-term exercise, the data provides rationale for further investigation, especially by race. So I guess I was wrong when I said we're all equal. We're not. White people die sooner from coronary artery issues if they exercise a lot. Here's the deal. Let's get serious for a second. This is a long-term study of over 3,000 participants, which I applaud them for having a study go from the fucking 80s when Reagan was president to like now. That's insane. They've gone through Reagan, Bush 1, Clinton, Bush 2, Obama, and now they're at Donald J. Trump, right? They've went through so many presidents here, right? Only one of which will not die of artery issues when he's old. If he exercises a lot. You get it? Obama, never mind. Anyway, so here's my thing. A lot of things can happen in those years. I guarantee you that everybody in Group 3 wasn't exercising that many fucking minutes a week when they're in their 30s. So they started in their 20s, right? Katie, come on, bear with me. I need some help here. I need a sounding board. Hold on, everybody. Katie Lobliner. Walking in, holding coffee.
I got my entourage.
Got her dog with her. This is my dog. So check it out, Katie. Let me bounce this off you. My nuts off your chin. Check it out. How? So check it out. So we're 37 years old. I'm 37 this month, right? Next month. Okay. Of everyone we knew in our 20s, how many of them still work out like they did in their 20s when you're in their 30s?
Probably not as many because life happens.
Like 2 out of like 4 million. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is lifestyle changes. Group 1 could be Group 3 now. Group 3 could be Group 2 now. The groups are all fucked up. I guarantee you those groups kind of mesh with each other. Like I know people who just started training hard like your cousin Jess. She always sneezes or coughs on everything we do.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
So here's the deal, like your cousin Jess. Inactive until her 30s, and now she's active. Yeah, so what I'm saying, these groups are fluid. They're fluid groups. You can't do that over time. Another thing I didn't see is mortality rates. There were 3,100 participants, right? 3,100 broken into 3 groups, and then they subsected them by gender and race. Now, okay, so there's 3 groups, gender and race.
Okay.
The average black male, I think their lifespan is till about 62, 63, where the average white male dies in their 70s. So my question is, have some of the black participants already died due to other, or any of the white participants or the Hispanic participants or whatever? Also, is this just black and white? There's no, like, that's racist. There's no Latinos? Like, where's La Raza here? Like, where's my vatos and my essays and my cabrones? Huh? So here's the deal. Like, you have all these, like, groups in here, right? And we don't know, I haven't read, it wasn't mentioned the mortality rates due to, for example, black men have higher rates of diabetes. There's sickle cell. There's different genetic disorders that, for example, there's certain genetic diseases that are mainly prone to black people and Ashkenazi Jews. They're the 2 people. Cystic fibrosis, for example, you know, a lot of things are prone to that, like sickle cell. That's a disease that mainly strikes, but it strikes other people. Right. But so my question is, so here's the deal with this. What I take from this study, absolutely fucking nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because while it shows a great example, and while it might show that there are, like, for example, we knew all along certain terminal diseases fuck up other races versus some, you know? For example, I'm going to tell a story and Katie can be here to validate it. First, I'm going to drink this delicious Patch of Mama coffee. Hey, Doug, you almost fucking knocked it in my nose. See, this is unscripted. So, let me tell you a story. So, we found out that Katie's cousin has cystic fibrosis. So Katie's a carrier.
Carrier.
So Katie is a character.
I am a carrier of the cystic fibrosis gene.
So we go to the doctor and she's like, "Yo, your test came back. You're a carrier." Like, what do we do? She's like, "Well, you know, your husband needs to get tested, and even if he does have it, it's only a 25% chance your kid's born with cystic fibrosis. But trust me, he's not going to have it." And then she says, "Unless he's an Ashkenazi Jew." And right then I'm like, fuck, just like that. I'm like, fuck. And she goes, "You're an Ashkenazi Jew?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "In North Carolina?" I'm like, "We moved."
Yeah, so long story short is he's not a carrier, and
so the long story
having the disease.
And another long story short, the bottom line is we know that one thing you could, and I've said this in 400 videos, okay? Low carb diets, arguably not as good, arguably better. Ketogenic diets, same as low carb, okay? Vegan diets, you can make an argument one way or another. Higher carb diets, one way or another. Basically what I'm saying is you can argue diets. One thing we will not argue in lifelong factors is that exercise is awesome. And exercise lowers different pre-indicators that cause you to die prematurely.
What I was going to say is, depending on what nationality, race you are, whatever, you might have different eating habits. Like, you know, my family's like white Italian. We never had like fried chicken and whatever for dinner.
Whereas
I'm not trying to sound like...
Are you saying that...
I'm just saying, like, and Hispanic people are probably more likely to have like, you know, whatever food. Like,
tamales.
That is your way of cooking. Like my family... My dad would make lots of pasta, and we'd eat lots of sausage.
You are such a racist.
I am such a racist.
So check it out. So according to Katie, all black people eat fried chicken.
No, I'm just saying
all Mexicans eat tortillas.
Eating habits of what you're eating can be cultural.
And Italians are a bunch of fat
Sorry, I'm too
pasta.
smart for you. Jesus.
Not smart. Completely offensive. But check it out. Nonetheless, I would like to state for the record that based on where I grew up, and based on the fact it was cheap as fuck, Albertsons, the grocery store, used to have fried chicken for like $2 for like a 12-piece. I used to get that bitch all the time.
Where was that at?
That was in Inglewood.
Uh-huh. Just saying.
I grew up a poor black child.
No, we didn't.
Wait, but hold on. If Jerry Ward can be 1% black.
We gotta do that DNA thing.
I got loyalty and royalty inside my DNA. His
birthday's coming up.
But check it out. So here's the deal. I am half black. The bottom half. Not my penis, my calves. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. What do you think about this? What do you think? I want to know what you think, because my opinion is, look, whatever you read, who gives a fuck? The study's there. It gives us, the thing about studies, it's you can never have proof. There's no proof. There's evidence, but there's not proof. The one thing we know, overwhelming evidence, is that exercise is fucking good for you. Do it, and guess what? Your chances of prolonging your life from exercise are much greater than ending your life early due to exercise. Whether you're black, white, if you eat fried chicken, if you eat pasta, whatever your food choice.
Did this study factor in like gym accidents, like people die?
Again, the mortality rate I did not see.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Chime in down below, and be sure to click on the link down below to get my free 12-week trainer, free exo style. And trust me, you're only in the gym for 372 minutes, so you won't die early. So it's good for white people too. And that's not a game.